Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Byron Scott. Well, a Laurel man is rescued from a burning home. He's listed in critical condition after being rescued by county firefighters last night. It happened at around 8:30 at a home on the 7600 block of Lexington Avenue. Firefighters returned to the scene this morning as officials continue their investigation into the cause of that incident. Well, Montgomery County lawmakers grilled school district officials about a controversial promotion of a principal. That principal, Joel Beelman, was promoted to lead Paint Branch High School despite complaints that he sexually harassed and verbally abused employees at another school. Well, the Montgomery County Council Education Culture Committee held a hearing today about the investigation into Beelman. The committee reviewed the initial findings of the investigation.
I feel like there's been a breach in trust in the investigation process. So even if a complaint has been resolved, you all, the decision makers, need to know that and to make sure that there's not a trend. Even if there were 5 complaints that were resolved, I feel like you should know that.
The county's inspector general is conducting 2 investigations into Beelman. Well, this Sunday, a new law called the Child Victims Act officially becomes law, and survivors can file suit against their abusers and churches for negligence. Lawsuits are expected to flood the court system, but David Lorenz with a pre-survivor network is concerned that those cases may never see the light of day. He says that's because the Catholic Church has threatened to file for bankruptcy.
What happened to those children? The adults when they were children never sees the light of day. It usually stays wrapped up in the bankruptcy court, and the public does not get to see it. And that's important for the public to understand exactly what their church did to them and what responsibility. So it's a way of them hiding and eluding the public exposure of all the bad things that they did.
The names of 5 high-ranking officials were redacted from the Attorney General's report on child sex abuse in the Archdiocese of Baltimore. Lorenz says the church should release those names if it wants to be open and transparent, as it claims to be. Well, next week, millions of Americans with student loan debt will start repayments, this after a 3-year pause. The National Endowment for Financial Education finds that nearly half of borrowers are worried that it will negatively impact their lives financially. Financial advisors say there are ways that borrowers can lessen their burdens.
If you've got debt, you have to manage it, you have to make payments on it, but avoid taking on new student debt, right? For students that are currently in school or those who will be returning to college, try to avoid taking out more debt. Instead, manage the debt you have. And if you've got to pay for more school, work part-time during the school year, full-time during the summer, apply for scholarships, apply for the FAFSA, and pay for college with debt-free sources, right? Income you've earned, scholarships, and federal and state grants.
There is a new income-driven repayment program called SAVE, which could cut borrowers' monthly costs in half. For more information, log on to aid.gov. Repayments officially restart this Sunday. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott. Still to come, getting ready for the Prince George's Film Festival. Take 2, a preview next.
Hey, I'm worried about your parents. We need to show them how to spot phishing emails.
Agreed, the scammers are out of control.
Plus, help them add multi-factor authentication.
Yes, we use MFA at work, and it's great. Software update? Done. Time to celebrate.
For more information on how to keep yourself and those you care about safe online, go to cisa.gov/secure our world.
2 people were taken into area hospitals after a shooting at the Addison Road Metro Station. It happened yesterday afternoon at around 3 o'clock near the bus bay. The 2 victims were found suffering from gunshot wounds. They were hospitalized for treatment, but their injuries are considered non-life-threatening. A suspect, police say, is in custody. Anyone with information on the shooting is asked to contact police. Well, the man accused of killing a tech company CEO in Baltimore earlier this week is now in custody. 32-year-old Jason Billingsley was arrested at the Mark train station in Bowie just after 11 o'clock last night. Billingsley is accused of killing 26-year-old Pavel Lepere, founder of the software startup EcoMap Technologies. Lepere was found dead in an apartment of apparent blunt force injuries on Monday.
The tireless efforts of the men and women of the Baltimore Police Department and our local, state, and federal partners, we are able to capture this violent criminal without incident or further loss of life.
It is very clear that this individual posed a substantial danger, that he had been non-compliant and was clearly violating the terms of his supervision after being released, and that alone should be enough to make sure that we keep him off the streets.
Police also say that Billingsley is the prime suspect in a rape that occurred on September 19th. He was being monitored and under surveillance by police for his connection to the incident when the pair was killed. While a former Seat Pleasant Mayor Eugene Grant is set to launch a new initiative aimed at better health outcomes for the county's elderly citizens. Grant's Health Empowerment Network of Maryland will help bring broadband access and health services to people by way of a mobile unit. Grant will unveil his plan at this Saturday's first annual Health and Fitness Expo at the City of Praise Family Ministries in Landover.
Very significant. Look, when the pandemic first hit, we saw a lot of senior citizens in particular and people with disabilities who were disconnected, who were unable to get services that they actually qualified for. We also saw numbers of those individuals whose health outcomes begin to worsen because they didn't get a part of the services that existed in the community. This will give us the opportunity to help those individuals to improve their health outcomes, thereby creating a larger impact to the society, saving us considerable tax dollars in helping people in the community.
The Health Expo goes from 10 to 3 at the City of Praise. Grant will host a press conference at 11:30. Well, the second annual Prince George's Film Festival kicks off tonight. Organizers held a pre-kickoff event last night at the AMC Magic Johnson Theater in Largo. Festival goers saw a screening of the movie Million to One, written and directed by Harold Jackson, who was a Prince George's County Festival grant recipient.
I'm extremely grateful to Prince George's County for the film grant. Again, without that grant, none of this would have happened. So that sort of support from the county is immeasurable. You can't really put a dollar sign on that or sort of quantify it. You really just have to understand that support, them getting behind you, pushing, helping you with locations, not just money, locations, permits, they do so much for us. So without that, none of this would really happen.
This is the very first time that we've done community screenings, and so we really wanted to give back to the community because that's our platform. Our platform at the Arts and Humanities Council and the Film Office is to provide platforms to advance creative excellence, but also to be a resource to the community.
The festival runs through October 1st. For more information, visit pgfilmfestival.com. And still to come, Simon Buggs is standing by with your Thursday sports page. Stay with us.
Hey everybody, and coming up on your Thursday sports page, UMD basketball player Faith Masonius talks about her role this season, and also UMD head football coach Mike Loxley talks about the team's upcoming matchup against Indiana. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss it.
It's on you. Classes begin October 3rd. Register now.
Welcome back. A new face is entering the race for Ben Cardin's seat in the U.S. Senate. Marcellus Cruz of Prince George's County announced his plans yesterday to run for the seat. He says he will focus on issues such as education, mental health, and veterans care. The 51-year-old tech executive joins a crowded field that includes County Executive Angela Alsobrooks, Montgomery County Council member Will Joando, and Congressman David Trone. And you'll want to remember this young girl's name because she just might be the future of women's golf. Meet 14-year-old Eden Washington. The teen who has been playing golf for 4 years appears to be a rising star. Washington says she loves to be out on the greens and enjoys the peacefulness that the sport brings her. She also says that through golf she has learned about the importance of having integrity. CTV News caught up with the teenager as she practiced her swing at the Oak Creek Golf Course.
The one thing I like about golf is the networking. I like the getting to know people. Just, put yourself out there, communicate with people, find your swing, find your groove in golf. Don't try and be good for someone else. Just try and do your own thing.
I want her to go as far as she wants to go. Like I said, it's been super exciting to watch. I stand in the background, I support. I'm not a golfer myself, so there's not a whole lot that I can really say to her because she's like, Mom, be quiet. You don't really know what you're talking about, which is funny to me sometimes because I know the potential that I see.
And Eden recently won a Black Golfers Youth Entrepreneurship Project grant.
All right, everyone, it's time for your Thursday sports page. We'll start with some college hoops. An important part of a team having success is leadership. Whether it be from coaches or players, teams need people who can help guide players through the ups and downs of a season. And a player on the Terps women's basketball team that is embracing that leadership role this season is veteran guard Faith Masonius.
I think definitely coming into college, there's a lot of higher expectations, and being in the program for so long and going through it, my 5th season, so I do understand the pace, the energy, the toll it takes physically and mentally, so trying to help the younger players and just, coaching them up and giving them little tactics here and there and helping them work through our defense, our offense, and just pace. I think it's something that the seniors did for me when I was a freshman, so being able to do that for them is just, it's nice having that person.
The Lady Terps will try and build off a season last year where they made it all the way to the Elite 8 in the NCAA tournament and were taken down by the University of South Carolina. I asked Masonius about what the team needs to do in order to make an even deeper playoff run this season, and here's what she had to say.
I think our main focus right now and coming this season is the details, the little details of everything. It's coming in 10 minutes early, being on the court, prepared, getting tapes, just focusing even in the basketball stuff, helping, talking, all those little things are going to make us a great team. And when you do the little things, it's going to translate to the bigger things. So just being disciplined, having that focus, and, fine-tuning everything.
Meanwhile, the Terps football squad is gearing up for their weekend matchup against Indiana. Maryland will have their hands full dealing with the Hoosiers, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
When you turn the page to Indiana, they're led by a really strong defense. I think their linebacking core is probably one of the better linebacking cores that we've faced thus far. 44 is one of those guys that, he makes a lot of plays for those guys. They've got some transfers over there. Their D coordinator, Chad Wilt, we know a lot about. He was a D-line coach here in one of my earlier stints here. And they're top 5 in the Big Ten in pass defense, interceptions, and then third down stops. And so really do a good job on that side of the ball.
Kickoff is Saturday at 3:30. And that is your Thursday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Thank you, Simon. Checking your weather forecast tonight, chance of showers, lows near 60. Friday, possible showers, highs in the upper 60s. Saturday, partly sunny, high temps around 73 degrees. And Sunday, sunny skies with highs close to 78 degrees. And that's CTV News for tonight. I'm Byron Scott. See you tomorrow. Good night.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go.